What's going on, guys? Milos here. So, a few days ago, Trae Young got traded to the Washington Wizards. Look at what he was traded for, CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert. I don't think it was the same level of trade. I think the Washington Wizards kind of just won that trade. And now, when I see what's going on, Shams reported that the Memphis Grizzlies are looking to or are open to trading Ja Morant. And Ja Morant is a player that's been their franchise since 2020. He's been their franchise player. The writing has been on the wall for a minute. I put out, I don't know how long ago, maybe a month ago, that Ja Morant needs to take accountability for his actions. I still believe that to be true. Ja Morant has caused a lot of issues in terms of off the court. He's got himself suspended a lot of games, 25 games, 5 games. There's been a lot of suspensions over just silly mistakes and kind of repeated mistakes. I don't want to go too much into detail with that. That combining his injuries, Ja Morant hasn't been on the floor for this team for a lot of his career, especially after 2022, which was his last season where he was really, really good. I mean, he was the most improved player that year. He made All NBA. He was an All-Star, and he was averaging 27 points per game. It was more, the team was focused more around him. He was able to just do a lot because he had the ball in his hands. And after that 2022 season, the team has gone in a different direction, looking at younger players, getting a lot of draft capital, looking to get players through the draft. They fired Taylor Jenkins, which I believe was a clear sign that they wanted to move in a different direction. Taylor Jenkins and Ja Morant had a very good relationship, and Ja Morant liked him a lot. The Grizzlies still didn't hesitate on firing him, probably because they were like, we need a coach that's going to be equal to all the players. I think Tomas Isalo, I think he is that coach for the Memphis Grizzlies team. Tomas Isalo has a philosophy for his teams. Like, no player is really above the program. I think he thinks Ja thinks he's above the program. Ja hasn't liked this coach a lot because his minutes have gone down. They're not running as many sets for him, and they're just not letting him keep the ball centered around him. They got other guys on this team that are getting involved, that are moving the ball. Ja Morant isn't really liking that. That's a big part of why, again, the Grizzlies are looking to trade him. So there's a lot of potential spots that the media has brought up, the reporters have brought up for Ja Morant. There's been like 5 teams that have come to mind: the Miami Heat, the Timberwolves, the Bucks, the Kings, and the Toronto Raptors. And all those teams, I like the Heat and I like the Raptors out of all of those teams. I kind of like the Timberwolves, but my question for the Timberwolves is, are they going to be like a responsible party? Ja Morant has shown us that he's kind of an immature player, to be fair. And Anthony Edwards, even though he's grown as a leader, he's a top 5 player this season. He's been spectacular. Gotta put out a video soon to give his flowers and kind of just tell y'all what he's been doing this season, because it's MVP level. I don't know if he's necessarily that responsible party that can hold Ja Morant accountable. I mean, they're all grown men. Like, they can do whatever. They can be whoever they want to be. But in terms of like a team aspect on getting better, is Ja Morant going to put them in jeopardy by getting himself suspended, by even getting injuries, not taking care of his body? I think you have to put all those questions in your head and question, is Ja Morant a good fit for the Timberwolves? To be honest, you can make that case for a lot of these teams, but I think some of these teams, you won't have as many questions with that. Like the Miami Heat, I think is a great landing spot for him. You probably have to give up Tyler Hero, but him and Bam Adebayo would be a great match because Ja Morant is a downhill guard and he plays great off the pick and roll. These landing spots for him, they're all questionable. They're all questionable because Ja Morant, again, is a player who doesn't hold himself accountable and also is a guy with a lot of injury history. And then 2, scratch the injury, he's just a guy who doesn't stay on the floor because of off the court issues. I mean, since 2022, he hasn't been on the court almost 50% of the time, if I'm being honest. Trading for Ja Morant is tricky. The only difference between Ja and Trae is that Trae's contract is almost up, so he's looking for a max contract. While John Morant still has like 2 more years, I believe, on his contract, whenever you do trade for him, you don't have to pay him necessarily yet. They're kind of similar in a way. Trae Young, a very good point guard in terms of offense. He's very inefficient, especially this season, in terms of shooting. And defensively, he's just bad. And John Morant is kind of the same way and a little bit worse in shooting. He's averaging 19 points, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds. There's like a huge drop in his shooting splits. I mean, I think he's shooting 40% from the field goal range, and from the three-point line, it's 20%. So he's a guy that can't shoot, a point guard that can't shoot, a point guard that's under 6'3", and doesn't play a lick of defense. Even with his athleticism, he's not big. He's not a big point guard, so he's not going to give you a lot on the defensive side. Same questions we have, the same concerns that we have about Trae Young are almost the same exact concerns with John Morant. So I kind of find it a little bit odd that right now the Grizzlies say they're open to trading John Morant when you saw how much you got back with a Trae Young trade. I believe those two players are kind of having very, very similar seasons in terms of just not being on the court and having huge deficiencies in their game. We can clearly see now that there's a complete change in the point guard spot. It's bigger guards who can defend, who can score the basketball, and who can run the offense. Guys like SGA, guys like Cade Cunningham, guys like Luka. Even though Luka doesn't play defense, he's still a 6'8" point guard that can see the whole court and can score with the best of them. You just need a bigger guard in this league. John Morant and Trae Young are guards that are not big guards. I think Ja can help a team still. He's still an amazing player. He's still a star in this league. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on where he can potentially go. I do think he'll be traded soon, especially with them saying that they're open to trading him. But again, y'all let me know y'all thoughts. And until next time, guys, I'll see y'all later. Milos out. Peace.